Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing today? Just a quick note. Yes, I know the background's so different. Well, I am actually house sitting for my parents today, and what better way to spend it than with you guys, the audience? This is a sort of last minute review. Happy 2020, everybody. We finally made it here. Ooh, 2019 was a bit of a rough one, but we made it through. New year, and we're going to expect some great things, aren't we? Absolutely. Uh, just wanted to say thank you for all your support. Yes, I know, different background, but yeah. Just don't forget to click the like button, that subscribe button, and while we're at it, why not just hit that notification bell for future videos? All right then. That's really all I have to say for now. So just enjoy the video. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Mystery Writer speaking, and welcome to the show. Today we'll be doing a quick review of the animated classic, The Yellow Submarine, or the Beatles' Yellow Submarine. Now, I am not a huge fan of Beatles, but they were among the first musical groups that I was familiar with. I can still remember them as far back as when I was like 5 years old. From my point of view, they were as big as Elvis, the king of rock and roll. Oh. They were music industry legends, pop cultural icons, and of course, the subject of this video, animation! Released in 1968, Yellow Submarine was a commercial and critical success, becoming a box office juggernaut at the height of the 1960s hippie movement. The film was also one of the few, if not the first, animated film to actually compete with Disney, who had a strong foothold on the animation industry for decades, being one of a few contenders at that point in time. This is evident in the film's iconic art style, created and designed by creative director Heinz Eidelman. Eidelman? Am I pronouncing that right? Whatever. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. The animation used within Yellow Submarine, however, is what is called limited animation, in where not every frame is redrawn over and over, but is simply repeated. This would inspire countless future animated shows and animated segments such as Monty Python's Flying Circus, the early years of Sesame Street, The Electric Company, and much to my own surprise, a childhood classic, Schoolhouse Rocks, because the film made me want to do some more research on my own on how it was made and stuff. I highly suggest you take a look at the Wikipedia page for further information. Wikipedia, not good as a source for school projects, but for random YouTube reviews, perfectly alright. The film also inspired other rock bands later on to create their own movies based off their albums, such as Pink Floyd's The Wall, which the Nostalgia Critic had a very controversial review of. We may cover that in a future video. Now, I'll only be giving a brief summary of the plot instead of going into any great detail about it for two reasons. One, I want to keep this as a short review compared to some of the other ones I've done in the past, excuse me. And two, the plot's kind of trippy, and that's the point. While it does have a story, it's also intercut with song performances and psychedelic imagery that ranges from impactful to the overall plot to just being weird for the sake of being weird. Anyway, the basic plot is that the music-loving paradise found deep under the sea known as Pepperland is invaded by the Blue Meanies, a race of music-hating weirdos who take great pleasure in oppressing the people of Pepperland. One escapee, made immediately into an admiral, boards the yellow submarine and recruits the Beatles of all people because of their resemblance to the heroes of Pepperland. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Band. Please, no, no, no copyright strike, please. Thank you. Along the way, they meet a colorful cast of characters such as Jeremy, the Nowhere Man, and even themselves. Okay. Anyway, each of the Beatles is given their own personality in the film, with John Lennon being the smart one, the smart philosophical one, George Harrison being the stern, no nonsense one, ready to take charge where he can, if you can believe that in a film like this. Ringo Starr being the kind one who we first meet, and Paul being the de facto leader and a little bit prideful. Just like the real Paul McCartney. Moving right along with the review, the movie was absolutely amazing. While, yes, the animation was indeed limited, and it's sort of a double-edged sword, the animation is gorgeous. The backgrounds, the creatures of punny names, the character designs were all so amazing to behold. I can definitely tell how it inspired one of my favorite comedies, Monty Python's Flying Circus, and the animation featured within. Even before I did my research, I could just tell. And while, yes, the imagery did range within the weird just to be weird spectrum, a lot of it also had true meaning to it. The film deals with a lot of subjects within our society, or at least the society within the 1960s America and Britain, such as human greed and environmentalism, to war and oppression, and of course, the power of love. I mean, seriously. I know anime has done this cliche of fighting the final boss with the power of love or friendship to freaking death. Yellow Submarine did it better and funnier. I mean, seriously. The part in where John freaking Lennon is fighting a rocket power pointing glove with a face just by singing "All You Need Is Love" is probably one of my new favorite animated sequences I've ever seen. One of the best, by none. And while I can't say I caught every little subtle message this film tried to convey, I can safely say that it would be fun to watch the movie again to just see what else I can find, because this seems like that kind of film. A film in where you will indeed find something new each and every time. The voice acting was really good as well. And while you can definitely tell who were the professional voice actors, cleanly going through their lines, while the Beatles were just the Beatles, and being surprisingly casual with just about everything, chatting among themselves like the best of friends. In short, I enjoyed the performances. None of the Beatles outshined the others, showing respect for one another, which is great. And they all just acted like friends, and it felt genuine. As I said before, however, the limited animation style was indeed a double-edged sword, as they really like to replay the same images a lot. But once I discovered that's all a part of the process, even if it seemed a bit redundant in some places, in short, I give Yellow Submarine a 5 out of 5. I can now see why this film is so highly regarded as a monumental achievement in the film of animation. It is truly a work of art. Well, that's all the time I have for today. And until next time, sayonara. Whee!